You would continue to grant us divine insight and wisdom, and divine strategy so that we can love our neighbors well. God, I pray that you would grant us favor in the Clarkston community, favor with the apartment complexes, and the resettlement agencies so that we, yeah, can get all these needs met through you. And God, more than anything, we do pray that you would be glorified in the midst of this, Jesus, that they would know that you are their provider, you are their protector, and you are their Prince of Peace. God, so use us
Okay.
to be your vessels of glory and honor, all to the honor of your name, Lord Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, yeah, I would love to share a quick update and then I'm probably gonna jump off.
Yeah.
So, I live in the complex. I'm looking at the D building right now. So I know most of the neighbors that have been affected. So I'm trying at this point to get an assessment of all of the needs and then coordinate those with who can help meet the needs. So that is the kind of streamlined process. I know, Eldon, you were talking about someone with boots on the ground. So
Yes. Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do here. So yeah, Sharon, I think you were giving the Red Cross update. I was there earlier today. So there is a program. It will close at 2. So if you know anyone who hasn't already done it, it's called the Greater League of Atlanta, and they will help with 2 weeks of hotel costs, and then they will actually pay for the resettlement into a new apartment. They have to be referred through the Red Cross, so someone would have to go to the Red Cross shelter and talk to the caseworker there. Her name's Ebony. She's great, but it has to be referred through Red Cross. But the Red Cross shelter closes at 2. So that's what is needed there. And there's not much else going on at the shelter right now. There's just a couple cots. There's only a couple families that are still there, but they do have food and they have hygiene kits and blankets and cots. Um, Other than that, there is some conflicting information going on about new apartments. So 32 units are shot. Um, I don't know why somebody thinks that they can move back in, but they cannot. I would be I don't want to like send pictures, but it's not good. Um, so it will probably take weeks. There's still, I mean, actively there are people still trying to salvage some stuff so that's not boarded up anymore. So if people wanted to, they can come. There's a couple families that are still out here. I have a ton of trash bags in my apartment still. So if somebody like was bored and looking for something to do, that would be one thing, is to kind of just help them, connect with them, try to help them rummage through what they can salvage. Yeah, so there hasn't even been like a cleanup process has not started. So it will be weeks before anybody moves back in. So 32 units need to be rehoused. There are only available apartments under RJM properties for 15 vacancies. However, those are um all over. They're not close. And so a lot of these families have kids that go to ICS or Indian Creek. And so now with these new apartments, they are not in bus range. They're not in school bus range. So that is presenting a different problem. As well as then that means that there are at least 17 families that don't have options. I was just in the leasing office as well, and he's like, contact your insurance. So they're not exactly helping with that. And that's where we come in. So I do have a lot of favor with the apartment manager and the owners. Beta and I haven't met Kelly, but both Beta. And so I was able to convince them to give me a list of everybody in the D building with their contact information. So he gave that to me being like, I won't give this to anybody else. This is for you because I trust you. And he knows that I help the community a lot. So that's why I'm going through and contacting everybody who's calling me and get trying to assess their needs, how many kids they have, what their plans are, temporary, and then also mid to long term. And then the goal from there would be to connect each family with someone who can kind of be their point person, just to walk alongside them through this process, because I don't have the capacity to do that with, sorry, I'm getting phone calls, with 32 families. Which good. So that's what I've been doing now. I can't really delegate that because this list of contact information was given based on trust and rapport. So from there, I'm happy to delegate.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do now. So I'm like locked in my apartment trying to get through this list. There are differing amount of needs. I think right now I need people who would be willing to be point people would be kind of one of my higher needs. The complex has a lot of Afghans, so we have Dari speakers, Pashto, some Burmese, some Rohingya, and some Arabic, and a couple Eritrean. So if anybody feels passionate about
Mhm.
those cultures or knows any of the language, that would be probably the most helpful. Again, there's varying needs, and then there's like one American, not a Christian. Um, Yeah, so okay. Plan is to get all their needs. I have a list I'm working with how many kids they have and ages and genders so that I can streamline this all so that we can have more specific needs of like who needs what. That way we're not just like collecting things in the Envision warehouse. So that is what I'm currently doing. Um, what else? Oh, the most helpful ways to help financially, the Dari Church has been helping because they're connected with a few of these families. So there's that direct giving link and then the Envision link. But you have to click the Clarkston Area Economic Relief and you have to dog ear where it says add comments and you put fire relief. And then Envision can take donations on Friday would be most ideal from 9 to 2. One of the biggest needs being rugs because if you've ever been in somebody else's home, they all have big rugs. Like they don't sit on the floor, like wooden floors or linoleum or whatever. That would be the biggest needs. And like pots and pans, and they kind of lost everything. So that is the biggest needs. We'll keep them in the Envision warehouse because right now people are still looking at like temporary or midterm housing. Not everybody's been like relocated yet in a way that would work with the schools. Um, any specific questions?
Katie, could you give your phone number? Was that the best way to contact you? Like if somebody wants to be a point person?
Yes. Yeah, it's 425 301 8328. Maybe somebody else can put that in the chat.
Okay, say it again. Say it again.
425. Oh, wait, here's the chat. 425 301 8328. Great.
What?
8328. Yeah, I just put it in the chat. Yes. 301 8328. Yeah, just point people would be my highest need. I'm going through the list currently.
Point person would do what?
Yeah, it could vary for each family. So let me give you some examples. One family recently moved here through the IRC, and so their apartment was set up by the IRC. So the IRC set up their renter's insurance. So they don't know how to contact their insurance. So that would be like contacting IRC to try to find them to help them get a contact for their insurance. For other people, like there's different like food banks or clothing drives. Maybe that would be like helping them get that. I think what I'm gonna do is once everybody, or some people really don't need that much help. It could just be like, hey, checking in on you, praying for you. Let me know if you need anything, just so that there's a point person in the community and a believing presence. So my dream, I think, is once I have everybody with a point person to put all of the point people in a group chat and then I on WhatsApp, and then I can funnel like, hey, clothing drive, because there's a Wednesday clothing drive tonight for free clothes, men, women, children. So that would be the best way to stream information so that I can get it to the point people can get it to their families.
Okay. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Really good. Thank you, Katie. Okay, I love that. And I'll take your presentation, chop that and then put it on the WhatsApp group so other people can see it. But we'll continue now with questions and answers. I know Rusty, Angela, I'm sure has other people here, Steph probably as well, have ideas and questions and things like that. So thank you very much, and we'll let you go.
Yeah, I do have, sorry, I guess I should add this. I have like a master spreadsheet of everybody in the complex, and then I like everybody names, languages, point people, how many kids and how old they are, and then a different list of needs as they are being offered. So I have a couple people who are like, hey, I could house one family for this long,
Yeah.
as well as different like physical donations. I know like Grace Snellville has wanted to help, like different things like that. So if you also have any people who are like, hey, I could offer this very specific thing,
Yeah.
you can send it to me and I'll add it to the list, because then at the end, hopefully I have a list of everybody's needs and a list of all the offers, and we can just like, great.
And I hope you
Katie,
can
is
speak somewhere in there.
What, Rusty?
is there any way? Thank you for all that you've done. It's just amazing. Um, is there any way to note on your spreadsheet who's resettled that family, which agency? Did you?
Yeah, I have that on there too.
Okay, that's great.
Great.
I'm looking at you guys, not at my spreadsheet.
Katie, you're an answer to prayer. The body of Christ in this greater Clarkston area wants to help. There's many people that I've heard from, but you're the hands and feet. That you're the one that people know, and they've seen your life, so that you're an answer to prayer. That God has you right there. So thank you.
Thanks, I really appreciate that. I thrive in crisis, so this has been a gift to be able to serve in this way. If there aren't any specific questions for me, I'm going to hop off and keep calling the entire D building. But if you have specific questions, feel free to shoot me a text, preferably not a voice memo.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Katie.
Thanks, Katie.
All right. I'm thinking big picture, just general information. Rusty, you were going to be contacting somebody, and I know there's some other person who also had a list of that. I wonder if they can connect with Katie to help her. But anyway, what do you know, Rusty?
Well, I spoke with Kelly, the owner, who said that his wife was on the scene and that he had been out there that morning. It was a very rosy picture that Kelly painted of getting people into other R. James properties. But I think he hadn't thought through the logistics of, okay, and then how are kids going to get to their school? So I don't know what resources they may have to offer if people can't see their way to taking up his offer of another R. Kelly, not R. Kelly. Oh my goodness, that's bad. R. James apartment. So I think I'd like to get back in touch with him, and at some point I may put him in touch with Katie, but I hesitate to connect too many people with him. Ellie Thaxton gave me his number. She's had dealings with him before that were very positive for the most part, and he answered the phone on the first ring, so he's very responsive and attentive to this situation. But I want to make sure that he understands that there's still some wrinkles in what he had proposed, which was to move people even as far out as Lithonia.
Yeah.
That's going to be really tough for people who aren't mobile, who don't drive,
Right.
or who work and have a system for getting to work figured out right now.
Okay.
So I'll get back in touch with him. I wonder whether anyone has been in touch with resettlement agencies through the CRSA. Steph is probably on the call, and also other community service organizations like the Eritrean American Alliance and the Afghan American Alliance, to see whether they are reaching out to folks in those communities. I know the AAA-GA, Afghan American Alliance of Georgia, has been in touch with some families, but I don't know how many. And our community liaison, Mushta Oriacho, is in touch with everybody that is Afghan. So I will be re-communicating with her what I know from Katie and from Kelly.
Okay. Steph, do you want to respond to that? Are you?
Yeah, I'll just say, like, I think the way Katie's going about it is going to be the best avenue. And then for those point people to also reach out to the organizations I know all the like IRC or like all the resettlement agencies are aware. As far as I know, they're all aware of what has happened. And so they should, but I also know they're limited in their capacities right now because most of the caseworkers who resettled people have lost their jobs. So
Yeah.
I think if they were resettled by IRC or New AP, they should have someone reaching out to them. And Spiritus and Catholic Charities, I think, are struggling a little bit more. Rusty, you might know more than I do about that specifically.
That sounds right. And
yeah.
USCRI is the other one. And as far as I know,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
only one family that was a USCRI family. And I've put them in
Mhm.
touch with the folks who remain at USCRI and they've reached out.
Yeah. I think Emily was gonna be on the call, but I don't think she's made it yet. But I know the Welcome Co-op is open to supporting families. But they have a referral process that people will have to go through. Just to help streamline and track all of that.
Can I add on that
So
though?
Mhm.
The Welcome Co-op actually is a little bit more complicated. They can't just serve people. So if they're not
Mhm.
already part of, which if they are already part of an organization that has a membership with them, they can. But that gets
Yes.
complicated to know who, but that anyway, so that we were
Mhm.
trying to be able to funnel people better through there, but that's not gonna be easy.
Mhm.
All right. Angela,
Thanks for
Angela, while you're still there, do you want to tell about your capacity at Envision as far as receiving donations?
Yeah, we were hoping because Welcome Co-op is just so amazing and well organized that they would be able to receive donations and give out donations. But they're just not set up to be that kind of a thing because they have organizations that like have a subscription to them. And so if people are not connected and referred by that organization, they can't receive, and they also can't specify donations directly
Okay.
to fire victims. So the donations will come to the Envision Atlanta warehouse at 4392 East Ponce de Leon. That warehouse is used for English classes and tutoring and soccer ministry and youth ministry. So we have a corner of it that we can use, which is why my suggestion is to not do furniture right now. The furniture will be a lot easier if we can get it directly from a donor into an apartment. But the kitchen items and rugs and lamps and teapots and bedding. Those are all things that we are happy to hold on to so that they can be kind of amassed, that as people get into their homes, they can receive from those donations there. So I'm willing to open. We don't have like regular hours just because we're a ministry and not this isn't our main thing. But I'm willing to be there on Friday. I've got a group that's going to come with a donation on Saturday that Michaela's going to open up the warehouse. So if you contact me directly and say you have a different time need, I can usually find someone to cover that. But you'll need to be able to help bring it in, and I'm hoping it'll be like in boxes and things. Like if there's a bunch of loose stuff, it's going to be hard to store.
Yeah.
And I will probably later on choose like another date and say, hey, I'll be here next Thursday from whatever. But right now I can offer Friday of this week, and then we'll see about next week.
Okay. Great.
Could I ask, Angela, are you wanting mattresses, and used mattresses are okay or not okay?
So I would rather not store mattresses just because a warehouse is a warehouse. And if it's not like a well wrapped, I just wouldn't want to sleep on a mattress.
That might be in the furniture category. Best to go
Yes.
straight to some place to be put on a bed. And I assume that used carpets are okay, but
Yeah.
we really want people to have them clean before they get there and not.
Yes, I've been lots of people willing to donate dirty, nasty carpets and say, oh yeah, if they just get them cleaned, it'll be worth a whole lot of money. I can't be the middle person doing that, and I'm sure none of you want to be the middle person doing that. So either if they want to donate it, if they could get it cleaned and rolled up, we can keep it. I mean, I feel like it's a better, we can keep a rug clean easier than we can keep a mattress clean. So I'm happy to even wrap those for people if they bring them clean.
Can I
So
input
rug's
really
great.
fast?
Yes. Hey, Katie.
So welcome back to myself. um I will add most of the apartments, even if like the apartment itself didn't burn down, it was covered in flame retardant and now water damage because the fire kept restarting all night. And so pretty much anything that is like fabric based is damaged. So if there was a way, even if we can't store it at Envision, but to just like be sharing needs, those would be big needs because and the smoke, like they're fabric like contains that. But while I am speaking, the Red Cross just called me and said to stop. No, they can't take any more people because they're closing in an hour and a half. So I know I said that they needed to go by 2 in order to get registered with the Great League of Atlanta, but now halas, done.
Okay.
So
All right.
we're trying to find another alternative for where we can send people, but until then, they can't go to the shelter anymore.
Okay. Thank you, Katie.
Yeah. Bye again.
Hold
Okay,
on,
yeah.
Katie, before you leave,
Nope.
did the Red Cross, is she already gone?
She's gone.
Never mind. I was gonna ask if they got everybody and where they're going to be for.
Hey, Ange. When I talked to Laura earlier, she said that it sounds like a lot of the people have a hotels to go to tonight if they got enrolled in this program. And I know they just told her, Katie, not to come, but I was just told if more of us helpers could get there, they could crank out a few more people. So I don't know. I'm heading, Lauren is coming to my house and I'm waiting for her to grab something and then I'm going straight there. I'll be there until 2 o'clock. So hopefully I would say if you talk to somebody in the next couple minutes, definitely tell them to go anyway.
Okay. Any other announcements? We can continue talking. I was going to end the recording and start that so we can post that on the CAMA's group. I'm assuming that CAMA will be able to create a subgroup here for this apartment fire thing so that Katie has that group that she can, the WhatsApp group there. I'm assuming that's how.
She's planning on making a group of all the point people. That's gonna be her.
Right.
That will kind of be the subgroup. So I don't know that it will necessarily be on the CAMA thing, but there will be a subgroup for that.
Okay. Well, as long as we know where that is so that we can point people. Yeah.